Hey everyone, it's David and Richard, and we're back with this Friday's Ask the Broker show, and we have a pretty good topic for you. I think I like this one. We were recently asked by an agent in our office who has a listing that seems to be kind of dragging on longer than it should. Given the market conditions today, most homes should be selling relatively quickly, and if they're not, that means that there could be a couple reasons why there isn't. So we're going to talk about why your listing could be sitting on the market longer than it should. And first and foremost, the first one we're going to talk about is limited access. Basically, if a buyer can't see it, you can't sell it. So the idea here is, Richard, is I think in the listing consultation, the first one you have with the buyer or the seller, you should probably really stress the importance of having flexible showing times, being available to as many showings as possible, and sometimes that's easier said than done when the owners have dogs and animals and that sort of thing, or young kids. Right. But the more you can have it more flexible for showings, the better you can have more buyers in there.
Yeah, there are the spur-of-the-moment showings. Somebody from the Bay Area drives over to show 2 homes, and then they realize this one's on the market too and want to show it.
Yeah.
That would be like in the next hour. So if you can be flexible on that, it would sure help to get more showings and possibly that sale.
Yeah, so you want to be proactive with this one. Have that conversation up front about how showings work, how buyers could want to see it last minute. And that could help. But if you have a buyer or if you have a seller that's really restricted on, only 5 to 6 on Wednesdays and Thursdays, yes, you might have a hard time getting somebody in there. So you need to be more flexible with the showings. The second one here today, Richard, what's the second one?
Not freshened up before listing.
Yeah.
Not freshened up covers a lot. Declutter, light, bright, and airy, not walking into dark rooms. The yards are cut, bushes trimmed. We could keep going. Carpets cleaned. I mean, lots of things to freshen up a house, and a good realtor is going to let seller, what things you need to do to have that house ready. But if it's not, it could hurt it.
Yeah, it's all about those first impressions, right? I think the first impressions, not only physically in person, but the first impressions that you get online when you're looking at the photos. So rushing to get your home on the market or get the listing on the market could actually hurt you without taking the time to freshen up the yards, to get the house cleaned and decluttered and a few other things you mentioned. So not freshening up the property and rushing to get the listing on could be limiting your success to get that home sold. Lastly, the third one we're going to talk about today, and it should come to no surprise, is what, Richard?
The biggest one by far is you're overpriced.
Overpriced, yeah.
We're going through that in this market that we're in right now. The market's super hot. If you're priced right, you're selling in days with multiple offers. Yet we're seeing listings that are on 60 and 90 days. What's the problem with that?
Yeah, most of the time it's price,
Yeah.
I think buyers are really sophisticated in today's market versus 5, 10, 15 years ago. They have all the information at their fingertips. So a savvy buyer is going to study a neighborhood. They're going to study the market they're in.
Right.
And they're going to know. They can look up the solds just as much as you. They can look at the pendings just as much as us. So,
and of course, their realtor's helping them too. So with that research being done, if you're not priced right, you're still sitting right here.
Yep. So a savvy buyer will recognize when a home is overpriced, and they won't even pick up the phone to want to go see the home in the first place. So
that's right.
Obviously, pricing is a huge conversation that you need to have when you're at the listing consultation with your clients. So hopefully those 3 will help when you're at your next consultation. Remember to freshen up the property, have that conversation, be flexible in your showings, and of course the big one,
price it right.
Price it right. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching our Ask the Broker video this Friday. We'll see you on the next one.